All right, let's go into a little more detail of some of the features, beginning with the basic editing tools. So you can edit the clips using either the timeline or the controls to the right. If you want to move them around, you can drag them backwards and forwards in time. If you want to move them up and down visually, meaning which one is seen on top, then you can right-click and click the up or down arrow. You can also find these tools for arranging layers at this bar at the top of the controls. Also notice there is a split button if you need to divide your video into two separate clips, and a delete button if you want to remove it completely. You can click on the control to collapse it and expand it. When it's expanded, it'll show you all your pinned attributes. And if you want more controls, you click on the gear icon to see more controls beneath that. Everything that is moved here appears as an attribute over there. I can drag the in point and the out point, and these can all be edited in the controls. So all of the green clips are animations, and these exist as Lottie files, which can come from a few sources, but one way is to make them yourself in After Effects or convert them from existing After Effects projects, exported as a Lottie using the body moving plugin. Then in Tweak.video, if I go to Controls and Animation, I can, in principle, edit any attribute of the animation right here in Tweak.video. If I'm familiar with the animation, especially in After Effects, it'll be easier to find my way around. I'll just change the rotation. Anything that I change at this point will be pinned as an attribute. When I close the controls and return to the pinned attributes, there I can see the rotation value here has been pinned, and I can move this or pin it for other people. And then I can remove it if I want to reset it back to its base setting. So pinning attributes is a great way to make editing the animation more accessible, both for yourself and for your team members. Another feature I want to talk about is embedded clips, which will allow you to make changes to a clip in one sequence and have those changes affect clips in other sequences. To show you what I mean, I will import the arrow sequence, which contains just one clip, the arrow clip. And now if I go to the arrow sequence page, I can make changes to this. I'll just move it around, change the rotation, and come back to my original sequence, and you see all those changes have propagated through to this sequence. So all the changes made in the original sequence will be carried through here unless I explicitly change something in this sequence. So for example, I might change the scale, and that does not affect the original, but any other changes other than scale will continue to propagate through to the sequence. So if you embed your clips carefully, you can avoid a lot of repetitive work and manually changing several instances of the same thing. I will go into more detail of use cases later on. Collaboration is also a very important part of Tweak.video. You can add anyone to any sequence by adding their email address, making one up here, and you can then remove them later if they no longer need access to it. They'll have full ability to edit anything in the sequence, but keep in mind they won't necessarily be able to edit other sequences that embed clips into this one. So you can find creative ways of limiting people's access to certain videos, or even limiting their access to certain parts of videos. All media is uploaded to the cloud, and you have the ability to manage this by deleting them or by importing them into your sequence. And speaking of the cloud, cloud rendering allows you to export your video and download it, which can potentially remove a lot of back and forth if the person making the final tweaks to the video is also the person who needs access to the file. Thank you very much for watching. Go to Tweak.video to try it out and sign up for the beta version to get early access to new features.